When your power runs out up here, the lights go dark, the music stops, and the movie is over. Today I'm breaking down the 4 smartest ways to recharge a do-it-yourself power station, or one that you bought off the shelf like an EcoFlow, from the obvious ones to a clever alternator-based option I've been testing with BougeRV. I recently posted a video on how to build a do-it-yourself power station. And one of the most popular questions I was asked on that video was, how do we charge this thing? Once we've built it, what are our options? That's the question I'm going to answer today. There's basically 4 ways you can do it. Most people say 3, I say 4. So make sure you watch to the end. I'm going to give you a few tips on charging. This, of course, will work not only with a do-it-yourself power station, but with any 12-volt battery, be it lead acid, AGM, lithium, and with your power station if you have an EcoFlow, an Anchor, Blue Eddy, something like that. It's January, it's minus 20 here in this part of Canada. Let's get inside and get charged up. First off, if you're interested in building your own do-it-yourself power station, I have a full video where I explain all of the steps. Very, very simple process. Let's keep this super simple. Inverter, fuse, battery. First thing you want to do is insert a fuse between your positive terminals. Now we just want to hook up our negative. We now have a power station. At its simplest, recharging a 12-volt battery or a do-it-yourself power station requires a battery charger. This is a 10 amp charger, simply plugs into your AC outlet if you're on the grid, or into a generator if you're off grid, and we're going to talk about that in a second. A 10 amp charger is relatively small. 10 amps means that with a 100 amp hour battery, it's going to take 10 hours to recharge this battery from nothing. And the other important thing to note is you can't use your dad's old battery charger for the AGM batteries with your new Fandango lithium battery. You need to have a different controller. This one does both. It charges AGM as well as lithium. And the way to use this is simply hook your positive to positive, negative to negative, plug this into your AC outlet. Bob's your uncle. Same thing with a power station like the EcoFlow, but you don't need your battery recharger because it has all of that stuff built in. You literally just plug it into the wall, easy peasy. If you're off grid like I am and you want to use these, you're probably going to depend on a generator. Not snowing today. That's good. We've had an awful lot of snow. It's been a very, very early winter here in this part of Canada. The second way to recharge your batteries or do-it-yourself power station is using a gas generator. I use the Honda EU 2200i. This is an excellent generator. I've mentioned it lots of times on this channel. It's extremely quiet. It has an eco mode, which makes it very, very gas efficient. I can run this thing for hours up here without ever worrying about it. One thing to note, if you're using a generator, it needs to be an inverter generator. So look for the model number with an I next to it, or just buy the Honda. But it needs clean power. And an inverter generator basically sends out a pure sine wave, which means it's going to be a clean signal that is not going to ruin your electronics or your mechanical gear. This is an important one. You don't want to build yourself a power station, or heaven forbid, go buy one off the shelf and realize you either can't power it up or you've just ruined the thing because you're using dirty power. Be smart, choose wisely. Let's talk about solar. This is probably the most popular option for passively charging your do-it-yourself power station or power bank. But the problem is we don't get a lot of sun in the winter, right? Yes, there is a solar panel under here somewhere. There it is. There are so many different options for solar panels these days. Different types of solar panels will work in different situations. The cheaper solar panels, yeah, you're gonna have to get them right out into the full sun and no shading at all for them to work optimally. You can also get solar panels these days that are shade tolerant. So if you're putting them in partial shade, like I am always doing, because in summertime, you know, we're just surrounded by trees here. If you haven't used solar panels before, they're very, very easy to use. Basically, you need your panel, a solar charge controller to go in between the panel and your battery, and you are set to jet. That's about it. This is a 30 amp solar charge controller. Essentially, you'll just need to look at your solar panels and make sure you're staying within the limits for the volts and ampage capacity, and you're in business. Hey, you trumpeter swans, where are you going? Interrupting my vlog here. This is the fourth way that you can recharge your do-it-yourself power bank or off-the-shelf power station. This is the BougeRV DC600 Alternator charger. Big thanks to BougeRV for sponsoring this video and sending this out for review. In the video where I was explaining how to build a do-it-yourself power station, a number of people were talking about these. They were saying, hey, good idea to have another backup if you're into redundancy like you say you are, and I am. This is another way to recharge my power stations, power banks. So if you're on your way to camp or the hunting cabin, you can be charging up your battery at a decent rate, 600 watts, up to 600 watts, on your way there. A DC to DC charger uses your vehicle's alternator output to charge a battery or power station. It converts, stabilizes, and provides proper voltage current, which means it's safer and faster than a simple direct cable. The DC600 has up to 600 watts output. It works with 12 volt and 24 volt systems, which means it's good for cars, trucks, and RVs. It has built-in protections, so overloading, shorts, voltage swings, temperature, that kind of thing. And it uses an XT60 connector. You can also use it and monitor it with a smartphone app. This gets you much faster charging than a cigarette lighter port, 6 times faster. So here's a big thing. This is designed for alternator charging while the engine is running, not as a standalone battery charger from a disconnected 12 volt battery bank. Much as I'd love to show you how this gets hooked up, and it's extremely easy, it's minus 16 degrees and my hood is frozen shut. It's very easy to set up. You're just going to hook these up to your positive and negative terminals on your car battery. The other ends just screw in on the side here of the BougeRV charger. And you've got your connectors here, which would go right into your power station, or if you're using a 12 volt battery, you can get the adapters for terminal rings. The advantage to a DC to DC charger is that it's passive. If you're already driving your car, why not have your battery charging at the same time? These are really popular with the van life crowd, and I think there's a good reason for that. When I was doing my background research, I came across a bit of a debate on whether these are good or bad for your car's alternator. Use it properly, read the manual, follow the specs, you won't have any issues, your car is going to be fine. Once again, thanks to BougeRV for sending this out for testing, and hopefully that gives you a better idea of how to charge up your power station when you've depleted all your power making popcorn, watching movies on the video projector, powering up your cool guitar amp Marshall fridge, maybe having a jam at night. Should I go on? Okay, I've got another couple of days up here, so I just want to chill out, relax. We're going to sit in my sacred nook, my reading nook, which I've moved. I've changed the layout of the cabin a little bit just because when it's minus 20, I want my bed closer to the wood stove. All right, thanks for watching, guys. I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked the video, and I appreciate you watching as always. Cheers. Happy upgrading.